Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our media conference. We've got assistant coach Mzwandile Stick and Eben Etzebeth. Please raise your hands for questions.
Hey guys, welcome to Dublin. Even how would you characterise Ireland and the rivalry between Ireland and the Springboks at the moment?
I think obviously a great team. I think they've been on top of the world rankings, if I say on top, in the top three for the last couple of years. So quality side, and looking forward to this game. Obviously when we got the calendar at the start of the year, was definitely one of the features that stood out. So we're excited for this weekend. It's going to be a good clash.
You played a lot of rugby since the summer tests last year when Ireland got the late drop goals to beat us. Would that be part of the motivation this week?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think, like I said, it's a completely different challenge. We're playing in Ireland against them. That was more than a year and a half ago. We've seen a lot can happen in rugby in 1 week, so I think a lot of change since that game. But like I said, it's a very exciting camp, and we're looking forward to it.
What did you make of Ireland against Australia at the weekend? The consensus is a much improved Ireland from their first two matches up the window.
Yeah, great test match. I think obviously it was something like a record score. So well done to Ireland. I think they played a real good game.
And Mzwandile, what's the latest with Franco Mostert and his disciplinary?
Yeah, I think Sos is going to have a hearing, I think tomorrow or Wednesday, and also Lotiaga will also going through another appeal again. But once again, I think at the moment as a team, we're just disappointed with how things are flowing at the moment. Probably look like every week we're losing players, and it's said that the build-up towards the Italy game, it was good. If you look at the Italian side, how they've played even the previous week, and the spirit in Turin, everyone was looking forward to the game, and then for the game to turn the way it was, because if you're saying that Franco Mostert is a red card, probably there would have been over the weekend. If you saw the incident that happened over the weekend, surely would have supposed to be more than 5, red cards, and then all of a sudden other situations they become yellow card, and then I think we're just disappointed with the way things are being handled at the moment, because once again, if you look at the actions of Franco Mostert, even with Lord Diaga the previous week, he has done everything but a book. Was probably just the only mistake was just maybe the contact was here, but it ended up in the head. So I don't understand how does that become permanent red card. But I think from our side as coaches, we still have to work hard because we're working with these guys. We can see they're nice and tall. They try to do everything but a book, but because of rugby is a physical game, sometimes you don't get it perfect. But for them to say those were the tackle was never legal, it's disappointing. Because of, once again, like I said, that game could have been a very nice, beautiful game of rugby to watch. Italy, they deserve the respect, and I felt like, they had everything in their powers to control the game. So for other people to get involved, and I feel for the ref because we understood the communication that was happening between him and his team outside him. Probably about 21 decisions that were supposed to be made in the first half, probably first 45 minutes, 20 of them went against us. Not because of the ref. Unfortunately, he has to respect the comms from his team outside. So disappointed at it, but once again, I feel for Italy, and I would like to apologize how things turned out, because they've got a good coaching staff, and then their players also were up for the game. But for other things to happen like that, I don't think they deserve what they've got in that game.
I mean, you handled the red card very well. Do you think you're being treated unfairly, the Springboks, with these decisions?
I'm not too sure. I don't want to say things and then I end up also being banned like Rasi in the past, But once again, if you look at the past 4 red cards in our players, we had Magazole Mapimpi, suspended, who's not on tour at the moment. The guy's on 47 test matches, missed out an opportunity to make it to 50. Jan Hendrik Wessels, a youngster, also missed out, suspended. Lord Diaga, which I feel like, after this weekend and everything that I've seen, even the Fiji and the France game, the clean-outs that were there, the Ireland game against Australia, situations that were even worse than what those guys have been suspended for. And then for them, they suspended. But other players will come back and play this week. So surely, somehow, this is not fair. And I don't think we deserve this as a team. We're doing everything in our powers to make sure that we send the right message when it comes to how we play the game we play in a good spirit. We've never talked bad about other teams. We always try to play in the good spirit, and hopefully things can just be between the four lines, you know. So, are we treated fairly? I don't think so.
Annemie?
Eben, just following up on that, obviously you're one of the guys that's more involved in this kind of thing. How does it affect the locks now? Do you look at things differently? Do you get together and kind of say, you know, like Rassie said after that game, what now? What can you change? You're 2 meters tall. The guy's on his knees. How is this affecting the way you're preparing for this weekend?
Yeah, luckily when Rassie picked the squad, there were 6 locks in the squad. So we don't know what's going to happen with Luet and Franco, but we still got myself, JK, Rowan Orkia, and RG, and also a guy like Peter Steffel and Jason who can cover lock. So I don't think it affects us much in the game. Obviously, we just need to be aware that level chains, as long as you level chains, you would assume you'd always be safe and get the benefit of the doubt. So for me personally, I'll just keep on playing the game I play, and I feel the other locks feel the same.
Eben, each part of great teams, this looks like almost the best Springbok version of the Springboks we've ever seen. What keeps driving this group to keep pushing and driving, given what you've achieved in the game already?
I think obviously it starts with the coaching staff. I think they're the ones who keep us on our toes. I think no one in this team will ever feel safe that they'll definitely play next weekend. We know we have to keep on performing to be picked for the 23 that runs onto the field on Saturday. So I think that plays a big role, and obviously we keep each other accountable. I think on the training field as well, we try not to ever slack off in practices or ever try to be arrogant. We always try to respect each team, prepare for them fully, and on weekends hopefully go out and put in a great performance.
What's worked for you guys against Ireland in the past, and what do you need to get better at to get a result this weekend?
Yes, we. Like I said, I haven't watched a lot of the old games. Like I said, it's a new game. I said it earlier. The last time we played was a year and a half ago, and in rugby, a week is a long time. So we only probably want to change our focus and not worry too much about the past. And we know we haven't won here in a while, so that's a nice opportunity for us.
And Eben, just want to know how you found working with Jerry Flannery since he came into the coaching setup in the recent years.
No, great. I think, like I said, the whole coaching staff. We've got quite a few foreigners in our group, but we don't really see them as foreigners anymore. We see them as part of the Springboks, and they really make a difference. So really get along with all of them.
And Felix Jones come back in, obviously, given how successful he was, you were when he was involved before, and obviously must have been a big boost, I'm sure, as well. Yeah,
when I heard he's coming back, put a big smile on his face. We all know the quality of the guy and the work ethic, so it's great to have him back as well.
I suppose having a couple of Irish players in when you're playing, kind of come against the game again in Ireland against Ireland in Ireland, obviously can all be helpful as well.
Yeah, always. I think they've obviously got a bit more insight. A guy like RG and John Klein, so they will say a few things in the meetings just to help us prepare. But we know, it's professional rugby. Ireland will be smart and probably change some things. But yeah, it's nice to have that bit of insight.
I mean, just following on from Rory, you didn't play last match. Is that part of the thinking, just to keep you guys fresh mentally and physically, to maybe step away from some matches and come in for others? Just given, obviously, what you've won, to keep that freshness going. Is that vital to do that?
Yeah, that's probably a question you should ask the coaching staff. I think everyone in this group would love to play every test match, so it's not a question I can answer.
How's your body?
No, it's good. Like I said, like you just said, I was off last week, so feeling a bit more fresh. But no, its body is good, and good to be on tour, 4th week of tour. We're excited, and like I said, start of the year we saw this fixture and we knew it's going to be a big one, so very excited for this one.
Just one more. I think Rassie said that he wants you for the next 2 years, obviously for the next World Cup. Is that in your head as well? That'd be a great thing to do?
Yeah, Rassie, I haven't heard him say that, but if that's the case, I'm very happy. But like I said, we just try to perform. Like I said, nothing is a guarantee in rugby, and especially in this team, you have to keep on performing. And 1 year you can play yourself out of the mix if they keep on performing. So for me, it's just hopefully play this weekend, put in a good performance, and then keep on being good enough for the coaches to select you. And I mean, we all know the World Cup is still 2 years away, so it's still a long time.
Annelie?
Coach, this team has beaten the All Blacks in a historical game, won the Rugby Championship, beaten the Six Nations champions. Winning this weekend, what would that mean to the team? Would it be the cherry on top?
Yeah, for someone who's also been involved with the team since 2018, you know, we've never beaten Ireland at home, and we know the past couple of years they've been, like Eben mentioned, now they've been probably one of the best teams in the world, you know, and also the fact that they've also got some transition happening in their squad, you know, getting youngsters coming in, getting opportunities, and so yeah, I think for us, most especially if you want to be the best in the world, I think games like this, playing Ireland in Dublin, probably those are the games that you want to be involved in, you know, because once again they've got world-class players in the team and can see the culture, how they operate as a team, you know, they're well organized, work very hard, you know, so I think, yeah, it will be nice for us to, something that we haven't achieved as a group now, and probably if you look at also the future plans that are happening, I don't think we're going to get probably that opportunity in the next probably 12 months, so we have to make sure that we grab our opportunities, and but one thing that I enjoy about the nature of the game between us and them, you know, games they probably almost go to the last minute of the game, you know, when we played here, always nice and tight. I think that's good for the game, and I think the people that are coming, paying their money to come and watch the game, I think they're getting value for their money, you know, and that's actually what rugby needs, you know. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, world-class team, but we'll do everything in our powers, like I say, like I always say, to make sure that we keep making our people back in South Africa proud.
Question?
Coach, you mentioned Ireland have some transition going on, they're making some changes. Do you see vulnerabilities there that you wouldn't have seen maybe in past Irish sides?
I think as a coach, I don't see it that way. I always see opportunities, you know, because of youngsters are getting opportunities, you know, and we've been there many times. You saw last week the guys that got a chance. We wouldn't know about Sasham Gomezulu if we didn't give him an opportunity. I think also they're in the same boat as us, you know, so we're not saying also we're a perfect team at the moment, you know. There are some guys, if you look at last week, how Kenan Moody and Ethan Hookup, they played in that game, you know. So I wouldn't see it as a vulnerability, you know. See it as an opportunity for those youngsters. They well deserve that opportunity. They've been playing very well for their franchise. So yeah, and they're world class. There's no doubt for sure, most especially if you look at their attempts and what they're doing currently for that team. There's no doubt they've still got a bright future.
Can I also ask just about the Irish coaches that you're working with, Paddy, Felix and Jerry, and what they've brought to South Africa and the Springbok team?
Yeah, you know, like Eben touched on it, you know, but when it comes to what we normally used to be in South Africa, I'm talking about, we normally used to focus on what we do best. You know, I think those guys, they've helped us in the sense of also understanding how the other teams operate, you know. And like Eben said, you know, a lot of those guys, they've played with some of the players. They've played for teams this side. They know the work ethic of how the Irish also operate, you know. And some of our players also have helped us with that information. But if I have to talk about Felix, you know, working with him for the first time in 2019 when we went to Japan, and I've probably never seen a coach that works hard like him. And then Jerry is just, he's a guy, he just puts his heart in everything that he does, you know, and he works very hard also. But I just like how those guys, they sacrifice to, you know, they've left, some of them, they've left their families up here, you know, to go and help us in South Africa. So a lot of sacrifice from their side, but once again, those guys, they're part of us, they're our team, and like Eben said, we don't see them as foreigners anymore. They proudly Springbok coaches, and they're part of our family.
Any further questions?
Got one?
Go.
Let's just talk about this weekend. Eben, Ryan and Vern, the two locks, were very good against Australia for Ireland last weekend. Comparing this game that's coming up to maybe France and Italy, what are you expecting? Is it going to be a very different game? What's on the cards for us?
Yeah, I think when we got here, we expected a tough tour, and that's from Japan. I feel like I said, we prepare every game almost in the same way, the way we look at opposition and treat them, you're not trying to be arrogant and think that one team is better than the other. So yeah, each game for us so far was a tough one. I don't think these days in the top 12 rankings you don't really get an easy test match. It's when you think you get an easy one, then you might get a surprise. So yeah, another tough one. Obviously quality all over the field, but I mean so do we. We also have quality players across the board. So it's going to be a proper test match. It's going to be great to play in it and great to watch as a spectator.
Awesome, thank you guys. Just you have to do super sport goed en dan is het klaar.